Hey guys, does this sound like you? You're a man's man, thick and rugged, a real stud.
That's not what I was trying to hit. It's hooked on Hatley. It's The Hang with Mike and Matt.
Hey!
I get hot damn.
Hot damn.
Mike.
I
I get better and better every week. More tight.
Your board skills.
Tight.
It's crazy.
Tight. How are you doing, man?
Oh man, what a day. It's been a week. Actually, not a bad day. I mean, you know.
What about yesterday? Did you ride out the major blustery day?
Dude, for those people that live in our area in Florida, you would have thought that.
Oh my God!
You would have thought the rapture was coming yesterday. By the way, they were describing it, and I hunkered down, moved all the did everything that you're supposed to do, and in the back of my mind, I knew that it wasn't going to be as
bad as they say.
Yeah, and sure as hell, about a half hour, after some gusts of wind and this, that, and the other, some rain. I was like, so that's it? It's like 7 o'clock and that's it? Like I was expecting power out. Like we're not going to do anything tonight. Like it's like at the board games and then, half hour storm, done deal.
At most. They had me. They had me. They got me. They always got me. They got you, because the day before it was so windy.
Yep.
And I was like, man, this is before the storm, and it's like 30, 40 miles an hour.
Storm's gonna be crazy.
That storm came through. It wasn't even barely windy, and it got a lot of rain in about 10 minutes, and it was gone. I was like, man, they got me.
It always
got me good.
It always reminds me of that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where the weatherman's tip. And the weatherman on the show, like Larry David's, like looking to play golf, and the weatherman's tip is like, don't even think about getting on the course tomorrow. It is going to be crazy rainy tomorrow. And then the next day it's sunny, and the weatherman's on the golf course.
First one.
It always makes me think of that episode. It's just the weatherman's out there playing golf.
It's you don't even think about that. Other than that episode, you don't think that the weatherman ever has any ulterior motives at all. He said, I want to go to the beach, man.
But that one episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, it completely flipped the weatherman on me. Like there was like when we were doing an event a couple years ago, I would always reach out to Paul Delgado, who locally here on Fox.
He's my weatherman. He's good. He's a good weatherman.
Nice guy or whatever, right? And one of our events is like particularly weather dependent, but it's at the peak of, hurricane season and all this stuff. And so I'm like going, hey, Paul, you think it's going to rain? What are you expecting for, next Thursday or whatever, next Friday or whatever?
Yeah.
And he's like, could rain, could not. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. And then
they cover their asses.
Yeah. And then so I asked somebody else, and they're like, in the military, they go, let me ask CENTCOM or whatever it's, MacDill. Yeah. I mean, they've got sophisticated radar systems,
you think
right?
the best, right?
Same thing. Might rain, might not. What are we doing here?
That's Florida, I guess.
I don't know how.
In the summer, that's Florida.
Yeah.
Might rain.
I'd still take this over, what is it? The snow up in the upper north. Like, no. I don't want to.
As far as weather, you don't have to do anything weather-wise in Florida. You wear your tank top and your shorts 9-10 months a year, and there's very rarely a storm where you got to clean up or anything. It never gets hardly below 30.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally you just have to kind of hope for the best. That's
occasionally. And you could live your whole life here and never experience like damage from a hurricane.
Yeah, when I was a kid, what was it? Probably 84, 85. There was a Hurricane Elena or Lane.
Elena. Sounds good.
Elena, something like that. And, it's like that was my first experience with a really big hurricane, and everybody's like freaking out. And, I had all my little earthly possessions as a 5 or 6 year old or whatever tucked underneath my bed, like that was going to save it. And then, not so much.
What was the one? It was only a few years ago where, what's the gay guy on Fox News? Shepard Smith. Not that he's gay. He could be gay. I think he's gay.
I think he's gay.
Shepard Smith was like, looked into the camera with all seriousness and was like, if you don't leave, You and your children are going to die.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
I do.
I mean, it was like I'm paraphrasing, but not much. It was pretty much
That's pretty much it.
You're going to die. And,
Yeah.
And I was like, what the? And then nobody died.
I trust these news people less and less every day. I was looking at Don Lemon now, announced that he's got a show coming to X.
Yeah, I
and he's
saw
like,
that.
I'm going to, now it's time for me to tell. It's like, fuck, you've been doing all these years. Like what? Now
Finally, time for me to tell the truth.
Right, like now I'm really gonna speak my mind. Like, what were you doing? So you're basically admitting you weren't speaking your mind or telling you how you felt for the last umpteenth
Yeah.
years on CNN. It's the same thing with Cuomo. It's the same thing. We talked about Kimmel sucking, Olbermann sucking. Don Lemon, we omitted from that list this
Yeah,
week.
he sucks pretty bad.
He sucks.
He's always. I mean, I've always thought he sucked pretty hard.
I just forgot about him because he had gotten fired, but he sucks.
It's like, where's the left anchor that has so much charisma that you like them anyway? See, it's like
That's a tough
it's
call.
like there's not anybody that's very likable, like Anderson Cooper, Rachel Maddow. I mean, but it's the same on the right with like Sean Hannity. Gross. I mean, like, would you want to go out to dinner with Sean Hannity? Ugh, sawed off little prick. Shut the fuck up. I mean,
You'd go out to dinner with Sean Hannity.
oh, hell
you
yeah,
would.
well, just for the story. I'd try to get the lowdown too of about how fake he is.
Try to get him drunk and then try to get his real personality to come out.
Do a honey pot on him.
Get his briefcase with all his information and then
Let's honeypot Sean Hannity.
Oh, my
That's my
God.
mission in life now.
have Donna walks into the bar. Hey, Sean.
I got 18 tequilas in him. I keep baiting him about Trump.
I mean, you don't really like Trump, do you? I mean, come on, you can tell us he's not that great,
That's
is
the
he?
truth, Sean.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, Sean. See, but that, where's the likable? I'm trying to think of likable people. That I'm not-
Likable media figures.
Like, yeah, I mean, if I like on both basically both networks, I find them all so dislikable that I can't really watch either network now.
I'm trying to think of one too because the Jesse Waters guy took over for Tucker and he's kind of sucks.
He kind of sucks.
It's just kind of.
Remember,
He doesn't suck his.
It's Waters' world.
I'm Waters and this is my word. Let that shit
It's
go.
so bad.
Yeah, you
It's
gotta
so
let
bad.
that go. I don't know.
I mean, is anybody looking at imagine if that's your dad and every night he's like, I'm Waters and this is my world.
Ugh.
Dad.
Dad,
Come on, Dad.
don't do it anymore, Dad. Please. Kids are gonna beat me up at school. Keep talking about this is my world.
It's just a dork, a classic white man dork with no style and no panache. This is my world.
See, I'll go with all the other BS, right? Because he's a news guy at the end of the day, and he's got writers and all this stuff. I'll go with all of it. But get the "this is my world" shit out of there. Like, take that out of the repertoire.
How's that testing, Jesse? How was that testing?
Yeah,
we're doing everybody keeps telling him, your test's terrible, Jesse. And he just won't stop.
No, instead, critical mass loves it. Critical mass, like, you're
Yeah.
doing it.
Grannies just can't wait for him to say it. I guess. I don't know.
How do we even get on this? We're just floating
Why are
through
we
topics.
talking about? Yeah, what do we see? We're too loosey goosey.
Yeah, I think we started
Gotta
off
be
on
more-
like weather.
Gotta be more structured.
See, I never lived in snow. Did you live? I know when
No,
you.
yeah, I guess technically I lived in snow for a year in Iowa, but it wasn't. It
Wasn't
snowed
crazy?
some. It snowed. I mean, it snowed a lot, like a couple times. Where
Yep.
I had to shovel it. First time I tried to drive in, it went right in the ditch. I was like, "Oh, this is what it's like driving in snow. There's nothing I can do." And I was into the ditch.
Well, that was my question. See, I've never lived in snow, obviously, so I have no clue. But these like snow chains or whatever, tire chains. I don't even understand that. I'm going. So wait a second. It's like a condom for your tire. You're just supposed to.
Getting that gription. It's
But
that traction with that chain.
But isn't the tire supposed to be the grip? I know this is. I know there's a deeper explanation here, but just as a person who's driving a car, the tire is supposed to be the grippy part. All of a sudden, you're putting a metal chain over top of it, and it's supposed to grip it more than the actual tire.
Well, you can buy snow tires, Matt. If you live up, see, because if you ran like on the highway on snow tires, it would probably be a very rough ride. So they gotta have, I don't know. I don't know.
So you
nothing.
don't know either.
I know there are snow tires, and they put chains on their tires. But I think you can't make a tire with it that's like it's got bumps on it. Like it's got a rubber chain on it to get gription. I think that would be a very rough ride.
I would like to see some better tire technology out there. I don't know what.
I'm sure
I feel
it's
like
out
it
there.
hasn't.
I'm sure it's out there.
I just feel like it hasn't changed or shaped or maneuvered in years. Just
They used to advertise tires on TV all the time. I mean, there was a major sponsor. Goodyear was everywhere, and they had their 1-ply and 2-ply diagrams. And it's like you don't see a tire commercial anymore.
I love the Goodyear blimp though to this day. If I see the Goodyear blimp, I'd be a happy camper. I mean, part of you kind of wants to explode, but and some sort of like a Led Zeppelin incident or whatever. But Goodyear blimp's pretty cool.
I mean, I guess because it's advertising. Because you could just send up a drone for like $18, I think, and get the same shot, right?
You think the pilot for the blimp's like, God,
he's waiting.
Technology's kicking my ass now?
He's waiting. He's like, oh, when am I going to get that call? Yeah, man, we don't need you, buddy. We're parking that blimp.
We've got some news. Are you sitting down?
I mean,
Your piloting blimp services are no longer needed. Where do you go from there?
I know. Hot air balloon.
Up there.
The lowest of the low. Hot air. I would never go on a hot air balloon. I'm not talking trusting no joker with a flamethrower who's got his hot air balloon license.
I'm never doing a hot air balloon either. And it just appears to me like they always end up in some sort of tragic situation. Like all of a sudden they're showing them in between the power lines or something. And you go, well, what did you expect? Like you can't really control the thing. I mean, can you?
No, you're effed. You're
at the mercy of the wind.
Well, the wind and your flamethrower thing. That keeps you up. As long as you got that, you're going to stay up pretty. But it was maybe a year ago. There's the video of one it's caught on fire as it was tethered to the ground by a couple people or something, and then they ended up letting it go because the fire was spreading. I don't know, but there's 3 or 4 of them. They're all going up, and like they all died. Because by the time they thought to jump out, you don't jump out until you're going to die of flames. You stay in there thinking you're going to, and then by the time you jump out, you're 100 feet in the air and you die. They all die, and there's nothing you can do. They're just going to float up and burn to death or jump to their deaths. It's like, I ain't ever going on a hot air balloon.
Thanks for the honeymoon surprise.
Yeah. Thanks, dear.
Yeah.
No,
I will not marry you. It's always
I ain't doing it.
It's always the most romantic of situations, but I mean, who can honestly relax in a hot in a romantic situation where you've got some sort of stranger in there? It's just a small basket. You've got some guy who, and then you're
smoking
supposed
a cigarette and a wife beater.
It's like a gravitron in the air, and then you're supposed to do a romantic proposal or something along those lines.
Yeah. I'll pass on all that.
I will as well.
It's like,
let's keep it on the ground.
I mean, just the act of me proposing to you is enough. Is enough of a thrill. I don't need to do it at some Lookout Point or Disney World. Oh God, I can't even imagine going to Disney.
You didn't do it
World.
in a romantic way.
I did it at a restaurant.
Ooh.
I can't remember if I got down on a knee. I might have.
Accidentally, like you dropped something?
I tripped actually. Gave her my $98 engagement ring, and the rest is history.
And here you are.
And here we are.
In the same ring?
No, it broke. She's ringless right now.
Oh.
It broke.
Oh, she's a woman on the prowl.
She is on the prowl. It broke. I fixed it for her a few years ago, and then it broke again. I got to remember to go fix it.
That's the best part. I'm wondering how much they charge you to fix it, because it's got probably like it'll cost you
more than it was worth.
Right?
More than it was worth. I think it wore through it, it wore. She laughed. I can't remember these things. It wore through. It's so thin, such a bubblegum ring. We couldn't afford to put quite enough gold for it to last, more than 20 years.
Am I mistaken on thinking this? Didn't Cracker Jacks? Wasn't there a thing where you had a ring? Was that diamond rings or it was some sort of decoder ring? What did they have in Cracker Jack boxes?
A
back
lot
in
of
the day?
stuff in Cracker Jack boxes. You had a surprise.
That's weird. I mean, I feel like somebody should have been, I don't know, inspecting those boxes that you could just throw something in. But go
They
on.
were in a sealed little package, and that was the big thing.
What kind of stuff was it?
It was chintzy, tiny little plastic stuff, like you said, a decoder ring.
Okay.
That they had stupid little
What were you decoding?
some nonsense that was not interesting at all.
The message is, you just got ripped off.
Yeah. Buy more Cracker Jack.
Now eat this caramel popcorn.
Yeah, this mediocre caramel popcorn that comes in a box and is on the shelf for 8 months.
They didn't have diamond rings in it? They didn't slide any of those fancy
No,
prizes in there?
I don't think so.
Oh, that would have been a better idea.
They were pretty chintzy. I don't know. I bet they probably still have Cracker Jacks. Who's buying a Cracker Jack?
I haven't even seen Cracker Jacks in a while.
I bet they still got them. Somebody's buying Cracker Jacks.
Bro, I went to buy popcorn in just microwave popcorn a few weeks back. Because,
The variety.
dude, great snack, easy. Now, the variety, yes. And then you go, and they still have, they only have like one brand of just that old school one that you just put on
The tinfoil deal?
the tinfoil
yeah,
deal.
Jiffy Pop.
And I thought for a second, I'm like, maybe I get that and, kind of go old school. Like, hey, kids, you've never seen this before. But then I'm going, or I could be done with this whole operation in 90 seconds with a button that says popcorn. Yeah. I opted for that one.
Yeah.
I don't want to be.
We got one of those, pop it on the stove deal and sitting in the pantry.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to sit in the pantry till it goes bad, and we'll just keep popping the microwave popcorn because it's like,
It's
it's
much
kind of
easier.
cool if you got, an 8-year-old, around your house, you want to see the one time. You'll do it one time.
One time.
To see the expanding aluminum foil. It's kind of cool. And it doesn't even taste as good.
If you came over to my house and I was like, Mike, you hungry? Want some popcorn? And I do that.
Absolutely, man.
And I put that thing out, that tinfoil deal, and started popping it.
Shaking the kernels.
I would never hear the end of it. You make fun of me forever, relentlessly.
Absolutely. Seriously, Matt?
Yeah, and with good reason. Oh my God, I had fun here for the what was it?
Bar
the
show.
show.
The bar show. Well, thanks for coming by.
It was a nice time.
Yeah, we just hang out.
It was fun.
It's like, we're not at a bar. We just drink like we're at a bar.
Why go to a bar with all the noise and all the fuss?
That's kind of the selling point nowadays. It's like, how how much money you're saving if you watch the bar show? Paying for drinks. I was just out last night and I was looking at the drink menu.
Oh wow.
My family.
Oh, you were looking at the drink menu?
$13 for like some kind of like an old fashioned or something.
now was this a particularly fancy place or it's middle of the road?
It's BJ's Brew House.
Oh, okay, yeah,
$13.
BJ's Brew House.
But think if like you wanted to go out and have like 5 drinks, just get crazy and have 5 drinks.
Yep.
50, that's 65, 70 bucks for 5 drinks, not mentioning tip, and that's just you going. If you got your wife's with you or something, so that's $140 for you to go out and have 5, drinks with your wife when you could sit home and watch the bar show.
Yeah, no,
for
I
like
agree.
20 smackers.
Yep, and sit there and you're in the comfort of your own home and you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have all the
all the potentially
to-do.
bad things that happen.
yeah. I mean, there's so many bad things that can happen,
you
but if
go
you're
out-
at home watching the bar show and you've got entertainment
Safe.
and you can interact and hang, yeah, it was. I got what was it the bar show? Oh my God! Now I forget what I was going to say.
Wow.
Damn it! What were we talking about?
You're talking about the bar show, but I was thinking about the chat. Like I got a really good chat. The Cluster F's a great chat. We don't have any ever have any problems, And usually, if it's a dick, it's a troll. But I was thinking back, because you weren't there for any of that Twitch stuff. That chat was just so bad,
As it should have
so
been.
depressing. It was like it made you want to quit. Because I wouldn't listen to the show sometimes because it was real woe is me kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And nauseating, mind numbing, and I'd start reading the chat, and they're just because they're listening to the same thing I'm listening to, and they're going, "This is the worst shit ever," and I'm like,
So in other words, they're agreeing with you. Both are agreeing with each other, but you can't get on there and be like, I know. And so you've got to, instead you're a part of it.
I should have exactly. I'm part of it. I should have had a like a burner account. I could have done what he liked to do is go in and say stuff. It's the host that's the problem until drive him insane.
And that would have been banned in like 2 seconds. Ban that account.
Be a nonstop banning.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say.
Yep.
So we went through a drive-through of a coffee place the other day. Wanted to try this, place, and everything, orders fine, whatever. We get up to the window, and the girl in front of us, the lady, taking the money, I swear I heard her go, "And would you like to leave a tip for us today?" And I heard the girl go, "Yeah, you leave $4, whatever." So I go, "Hey, are we gonna get put on the spot? Is that like we're next up? We're next in line. I got to prepare here. Like, what do we tip? Do
you think that she did that? Like she does that fly by night thing herself? She doesn't tell the management. She's just trying to pressure people, or does they tell her to do that?
I don't know. It was a high pressure sales tactic. I felt like because we get up to the window.
It's bad enough when you get a machine asking you.
Yes,
but when you got a human being.
And sure enough, she did. She goes, "Would you like to leave a tip for us today for our wonderful service?"
Oh my God!
And it's
laying
like,
it on thick.
Yeah, and
no.
Right? Like, what do you do? Like, you can't say, like, if somebody goes, "Would you like to, round up for children's education?" I go, "No."
Exactly.
That's an
no
easy
problem.
no.
No. Whatever they say, I say no. It could be anything.
Yeah, anything.
Armless children with cleft palates. No. I'll keep my $1.
I could have cancer, and I could have my own GoFundMe, and somebody be like, "Hey, would you like to round up for Matt?" I'd be like, "No, I'm not doing it."
That guy's an asshole.
Yeah, no, I'm not rounding up towards my own GoFundMe. But yeah, she put us on the spot, and I had to say, yeah, put $2 on there or whatever.
$2. I bet you. Oh, she's spitting your coffee.
Well, I'm thinking. Well, I'm just thinking. Okay, all the cars in the line. It took us maybe 3 minutes to get from the order out. Right? You multiply that up by her putting everybody on the spot through an 8-hour shift. Whatever they're doing, it's sort of a dick move. I think you shouldn't put people on spot. You should at least give them the option.
So you drive through there
Yep.
in your Tesla, and you threw 8 quarters on the ground and made her pick them up. Is what you did.
Well, when you put it like that, first of all, it was 20 dimes.
It is. It's bullshit.
It seriously is. It has nothing to do with its principle. It's at some point this has got to stop. We've got to.
I mean, can you imagine like the waitress when you go out to a decent meal and at the end she's like, "So how much is my tip going to be tonight?"
Yeah, and then stares at you and gives you no time to think about it.
Fuck, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
wasn't that good? I know. I feel pressure to give her money anyway.
The recommendation these days is 20%. However, if you feel like my service is very good, you can tip me 30% right now, and I'll watch you do it. You have no room to say no or maneuver. You can't slide out of this one.
That's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it's uncomfortable.
I
can't. I mean, or is a brilliant marketing strategy by the coffee place because they can pay their workers dirt cheap and get all the money from you by pressuring you into giving it. It's brilliant marketing.
Real talk, I think it's a combination of both. But it's not fair. It's not fair.
No, it sucks ass. It sucks ass. It's like I don't ever, it's rude enough, you get a digital prompt. But the in-person prompt is just rude. So you're going to tip me or not? I mean, that's bullshit.
It was so, but again, she was nice and friendly and there was nothing. And again, I don't know if she got trained into that, but if you if you're doing anything like stop it, just do society a little bit of a favor. Just stop it for a little while. We're tipped out here.
It is weird though, like restaurants, like waitressing is like the only profession where, like if you're a mechanic and you change somebody's brakes, you're always going to get a certain amount of money for that. But you could do a great job as a waitress, and the people are like, "Nah, I'm not paying you nothing," and then that's it. It's like that I don't even understand that concept.
Do a lot of people not tip these days?
Oh, Berlin was working over at the Wiregrass
Okay.
in a restaurant. And she would come home every night, sometimes so mad because half the people would stiff her. And I was like, really, half the people? Or she'd say there was be like a $95 bill, and they'd be like $3 or $4. It's like she was like, it's just like, I hate people so much, just so rude, and they treat you so bad, and then they don't even tip you.
I think it's definitely rude not to tip. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But I also do think that certain folks don't know what to tip to certain on restaurants and things like that. So, I mean, without me looking like a fool where I dig out my phone and do the bill and do the percentage and all that, I just kind of try to scroll down, and it is helpful when they have that little tip guide, and I'm like, well, 18% is this, 20% is this,
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm just taking the tax and I'm doubling it and then adding a little bit, and I'm just trying to do it nonchalantly, like I know how to do math, but I really I don't.
Yeah.
That's kind of my rule of thumb.
The tax and double it.
Yeah, because
And
the
that-
tax is what, 7.5%. So you double it,
Okay.
and then add a little bit on top.
Yeah, depending on how good it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
It doesn't matter if it's good or bad.
mean,
I'm going to tip the same amount.
If you don't if you get a really good waitress or waiter who's got some personality, and it almost makes your evening better, more enjoyable.
Not too much personality.
No. I'm just talking about a cool waiter. They come, they're enjoyable to talk to, helpful. Not the bad joke waiter is the fucking worst. I wanted to kill myself when I got the bad joke waiter,
Dude.
because you gotta do the fake laugh.
Yep.
Go away. No, not another. He's going to do a twofer. Ah! Oh, my God. Oh, it was a nightmare.
Do you prefer the young, high, stoned waiter or an older, more established waiter who is just there because they've got to be? Like life has forced them in a position
They're
where
not
they're
happy
going,
about it? Not
Here
ha-
I
no, I
am. I'm going to take your order.
I like a little personality with my waiter.
So you take
or waitress.
the young, high, stoned waiter that
If
may
they-
or
as long
may
as
not
they're
give you your
well,
food.
It depends on how incompetent they are. I'm looking for good service. I want it all, man. In a waiter.
Tough to find.
I want it all. Personality. We put out ads in the paper for Don and I. We're really into waiter and waitress. We're in the lifestyle now. We only bang waiters and waitresses.
Service with a smile. There you go.
Lifestyle. We were talking about that other guy right before the show.
Oh, yeah.
What is it? Gutter porn.
Gutter porn. Just,
How does that happen?
it still
Maybe
mystifies me.
Maybe tomorrow, if all of a sudden you found out I just completely gave up and started sucking dick tomorrow. That'd be what it would be like. And you'd be saying, wow, I didn't see that coming. Not in a million years. Thought that was at least 20 years down the road. But I was just like, okay, start sucking dick now.
Yeah, the gutter
Giving
porn.
up on everything.
Yeah, really. It's so strange to me. I can't wrap my head around some of these people doing this stuff.
That was metaphorically, sucking your dick. I think he just, that's the god-awful things heterosexually.
Yeah, whatever's going on
I
there.
want to disclaim that. No one ever be accused of lying.
No, gutter porn nonetheless. But
I mean, really, rank amateur. That's a term, rank amateur, but I think it takes on a new meaning in this case. Rank amateur porn.
just
It's just the
grotesque.
bottom of the barrel. I think there's a market for that.
I mean, I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
there is. It's interesting because if you've got X, formerly Twitter, or anything like that, I mean, dude, there's just pornography everywhere. It's just there. All you have to do is sign up for a free account and type in what you want to see, and it's just nonstop. I mean, of course, there's the internet sites and all that, but I mean, just casually scrolling on your phone, you don't even have to even look for it. Somebody's going to retweet it, and you just come across it just by happenstance. It's really what a time to be alive. What a time.
Every format, platform, technology gets overrun by porn.
Porn and scams.
It's just, you think the greatest invention in the world is the internet, and the main use is for people to jack their dick to.
Yeah,
It's like crazy.
It all turns to hatred, porn, and scams. Those are like the top three. It's
Yeah,
just
I think the aliens are ready to end the experiment. They're like, this is a nightmare.
and then it's always weird when you get somebody who has a genuine compliment. It's like, what are they trolling? What are you trolling?
Yeah,
Like, no, man, really enjoy it.
there's no way.
Oh, okay, sure. All right, you been a dick now?
Yeah, you're being a real dick.
Like your mind is trained to think that everybody's
It's
looking for a gotcha moment. That's like,
because they are. 'Cause
Yeah.
they are looking for a gotcha moment. Yeah, like my what do you call it, or algorithm or whether like on my Twitter, because I don't like I'll occasionally respond to people. When they when they say something really stupid
Yeah.
on the left, I try, I used to do it all the time, but I don't do it. I try to say they're just trolls. Everybody on both sides is just trolls.
Yeah.
It's all it is. And you can't sit enough time to look at it that way. And I don't get sucked in as much because it's like, well, they're just trying to make me mad by saying something that makes them look so stupid. Their point is so stupid
Yes.
and inflammatory that's what they want from me is for me to go. So I don't do that anymore.
I think you
Try
said
not to do it.
You said something probably a year ago or something. I don't even know what it was. Maybe even longer than that. And my buddy Aubrey, who
Yeah.
you had replied something. Somebody put something about Aubrey on your Twitter, and you responded with like, he's a narcissist just like Spice, like something. And I'm going, did I just get hit? I got hit out of nowhere. Like you included me on something.
I don't remember doing that.
It's fine. It was, but I mean, that's the point. Like you don't even remember doing that, right? Like that's the funny part. It probably took you 10 seconds of your life to come up with this and fire it out. And I got hit with shrapnel out of nowhere, and I'm going, oh, dude, did I do something to Mike? I don't even know. Last I heard, we were cool. But I mean, that's how funny it is. Like a brief moment in time in your life stuck with me a year later. Now I've tried to not let those things bother me anymore. I don't, now I don't really look at it, so I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
But it is like there's probably one or two people that would stick out in your mind if you heard them, or if they walked up to you like, "Yeah, I made this comment." You'd be like, "Dick, what'd you do that for? Like, why? What'd I do to deserve that?"
Sometimes you're just looking for material.
Yeah, that's the funny part. So everybody's on the prowl for material.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't even like necessarily fault anybody because everybody's on the prowl for material.
Yeah, I'm trying to back it off. It's like, well, it's not worth it. And God, the worst is you tweet something and you're like, man, I shouldn't have tweeted that. That you can't take it back.
It's out there.
So it's like it really takes you a long time to learn.
I've had some regrettable tweets myself.
It's just not worth it. Just not worth it. A lot of times, so I catch myself a lot of times, typing it all out and then going, okay, X. Let's forget about that.
Better idea.
Do you want to discard? Yes, discard.
It's a better idea.
It is.
It's
no fun. Not as much fun, but hey, who needs all that?
Dude, who needs that?
All
You're signing up for drama.
Drama.
Ugh.
Ick. Drama schmama.
What's going on in the chat tonight on the old Twitch?
I got Blind Lawrence in the chat. What's up, Blind Lawrence?
Hey, Blind Lawrence.
How's it going? Sean Raz, back from the Raz radio days. Ned's Navy.
Ned's Navy. That guy's dedicated.
He is a dedicated. He's a tall guy. A tall guy.
Tall and dedicated.
He's known for his tallness and his dedicatedness. He lives up in Crystal River. I think he's retired, living the life.
Real man. How do you how old is he? Do you think to retire?
He's not that old.
I've gone through
Not
this.
that old for retirement. He must have worked his ass off.
I've talked to you a little bit about it outside of us on the microphone. I can't. And all I do is watch Dave Ramsey videos and retirement videos and how people do this and set up their finances. And I still, to this day, can't get a clear answer like, when am I going to be able to retire? Like, when do I get to retire? How does this work? And it's always comes back to like, well, it depends on how much you need to spend a year. And I'm like, God damn it. I want a definitive, like Ned's Navy. If that guy's retired, how did he retire? And
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
I'd like to know. I think they maybe like 5 years ago they made it. They finally realized, well, now nobody's going to be able to retire.
That's the problem.
And so they just keep pushing it back, like, oh yeah, you need this much, and because you're never going to be able to retire. That might be the new norm. Like like if you have inflation like this, like I've heard people say, well, that inflation's never going away. This is the way it's going to be. Well, I think that's going to catch up to everybody, and eventually, and who's going to be able to retire when?
Well, and then the Social Security, like they raised it up a little bit, and everybody's like, "Oh, wow, our Social Security, we're getting a little bit of a raise here." And it's like, you're not though. Like you're really not. You're still taking a pay cut because of inflation. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
it's you're getting more, but you're actually getting less. You know,
yeah, I'm at a
better
loss.
Than, I don't. I think. Yeah.
Ned's Navy. I'll come up to Chris River and sit down with you for a financial peace session. Let me know what I need to do.
Oh yeah, just so my kids are like paying like $2,200 or so for renting an apartment. It's like, well, how do you?
Is that really what it is? For real?
It's like $2,000 for like a small apartment.
Wow.
And it's like, how do you save money like that? How do you save money when your rent is $2,000 a month?
Yeah, because
all your money you'd be saving for a house is going to your rent.
Yeah, because if you're making, let's just say you're making 36 or 40 pre-tax, I mean, after taxes, you're down to literally just paying your rent, and maybe a couple utilities.
And eating a little bit.
Ramen every night.
So it's like, it is different. You could live, cheap back in the day. You could be poor and still eat, You could even afford a car sometimes. Your car payments are like absurd, like $1,000 a month now.
Oh my God!
How do you even think of that?
I don't know. It's weird when you can just go. You know what? I don't. Maybe I'll just forget the car and take Uber and just try to eliminate how many places I go on a monthly basis, or say, you know what? I'll get an e-bike. Like I've seen people do. Like I'm just going to get an e-bike.
Yeah.
It goes 20 miles. I'm just going to, within a 3-mile radius, right? And then just forget about a car payment completely. Don't worry about insurance, all that stuff.
Man, riding an e-bike.
They're great.
You're going to get killed. Man, I'm not riding a bike on a major street.
What, are you afraid of going too fast? You afraid of keeping up with traffic?
You're afraid that nobody's paying attention, man. You see these people who, like, there's stories on the news every night about people getting hit by cars because the people walking aren't paying attention, and the people driving ain't paying attention. So people are just getting mowed down left and right.
Well,
I'm not driving. I can see these people riding bike, and I'm just like,
So you're saying you wouldn't ride a bike out in traffic in general? It's an e-bike or a regular bike? Doesn't matter.
Oh no,
You're just saying biking in general.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like today. So I'm driving down the road, and there's nobody anywhere, and it's it's not major road, but there's nobody anywhere, and the guy's in the bike lane.
Okay.
And he's riding, and so I turn, and I'm in the right lane. There's actually 4 lanes, so there's 2 lanes going one way. I don't get over. He's in the bike lane. I just pass him. I didn't try to get close to him or anything. And then I look back, and he's just shaking his head. He's shaking his head, and I'm like, "Fuck you." You with your bike pants and your yellow bike jersey, like you're in the Tour de France, and your helmet, and you're out there riding, and you've got privileges too, because you deserve every legal option that a car has. But heaven forbid I pass you like a normal person and didn't get over to give you extra room because you're a bicycle on a fucking major highway. If you're wearing the jersey and the bike pants and the helmet like you're in the Tour de France, I might piss people off. I don't want you to listen to this show. I think you need to reevaluate your life.
You don't want the people that clip in on their
my God,
on their pedals. You clip in and just go.
You're not ever going to win a race, ever. You're a poser, a pretender. You're holding up traffic. Just ride like I do around a neighborhood in khaki pants and a T-shirt.
Have you ever
get your exercise?
Have you ever had the groups where they take up the whole road and there's like 50 of them, and it's like, guys, okay,
preposterous.
If you are going to do this, just why are you now they're impeding the traffic. They're not all riding single file they're not all respecting the rules of the road either. you get a group of those,
Yeah.
tidy whitey riders.
It's insufferable.
And they do the turns with their arms.
They intentionally block. They're like, we're allowed to be here too. Well, you're not. You're not going. But what? 13 miles an hour?
Well, that's the funny
Isn't
part.
that the minimum, way less than the minimum speed limit?
I think they're all under the same illusion of no, we're capable of going the same speed you are in this. Like if speed limit's 35, they honestly believe that they're going 35 miles an hour, flying with no problem. And it's like you're not though. I can just
what's top speed on a bike?
That's a good question.
The average person. You're not sprinting to the finish line for stage 3. You're just riding your bike. You're not going that fast.
My e-bike goes 20, and I feel like I am flying at 20.
I see these people on these e-bikes, and I'm like, they're flying, and I'm like, man, I bet there's a lot of people eating pavement. You don't go that fast on your bike ever.
It's
unless
so
you're going
great
down a hill or something.
It's so great. Have you never ridden one?
No, I haven't. Something gonna run out in front of you. I mean, it's all over you.
Well, that's true.
No teeth.
That is a concern. Yeah, because I'm not helmet guy. I'm not. I'm not driving 20, but I'm being cautious about it. No, I'm going 20 with, no helmet because I'm a rule breaker.
I fell off my bike 3 times, but it was all understandable. One time I was trying to squeeze through the electronic gate out front. And I was like, I can make it. And I was like, I'm not going to make it. And then I flew.
That's like a Pee Wee Herman move.
It was bad. It was a really stupid move. It was a stupid move. Stupid move. Then again, one time I was in the well fields and a stick got between my spokes. So I Supermaned off my bike because my bike stopped dead. I Supermaned.
These are 2 of the most classic scenarios.
At one time, I'm just going really slow, and I'm looking at my iPod, and I'm trying to switch songs, and my handlebars. I'm like, oh shit! And I was like, bam on the concrete. That hurt a lot.
That one seems like the most likely scenario these days. Yeah. Somebody put a stick in my spokes. Yeah, you kids.
Oh, that hurt though. I still don't wear a helmet.
No.
Some things. I'm a thrill seeker. I'm not going to wear a helmet. Not going to do it.
I'm lucky I never got in a motorcycle crash when I had my motorcycles. I've owned like 4 different motorcycles, I think. One was like one of those 3-wheeled Can-Am Spider things, which I loved. It was probably the safest thing I could have, But then I had these other motorcycles, and I mean, dude, it's fast. There's no other way to put it. It's just get up and go, and it was great. But man, I'm so lucky that I did not lay it down, And every time I would go do appearances or whatever at these motorcycle places, they'd have these biker magazines. And in every other page was like, tribute ride this Saturday from 9 to 11, silent auction, 50-50 raffle, all this stuff. And it started weighing on me. I'm going, there's a lot of people that have lost their lives in these motorcycle accidents. 1, I'm going to start wearing a helmet more often.
Yeah.
And 2, I got to get rid of this motorcycle. I can't. Once you got kids and stuff, it was too much.
Yeah, I just don't think because it's very rarely the motorcycle rider's fault. The guy just turns right in front of him and doesn't see him, and you're dead.
Well, yeah,
and it happens. And he was making a left turn, and the guy runs right, doesn't even see the biker. So I'm not going to ride a motorcycle and risk that no matter how safe I am, there's just a bunch of jackasses out there who won't even see me.
Well, see, on the opposite end of the spectrum, I was going like 110 across the causeway.
Oh, man,
at like 2 a.m. or something, being one of those, right?
Yeah.
And it dawned on me that, the road, everything's moving just so fast. It's just, everything's so fast.
Yeah.
And I'm going, if I were to hit a big pebble, right? Just a big pebble, or take my hand off the something. Like it gets my hand sweating right now. Just
big gust of wind.
Anything. It could all that was it. And it kind of started weighing on me.
Yeah, and you're just dressed in what, street clothes? I mean,
I would wear my motorcycle jacket.
Yeah,
but
you got that going for you.
Yeah, that's not going to save me.
You might stay in one piece. that might what it might do for you. Yeah. Oh yeah, I can't see doing that. I ain't doing it.
Never did the motorcycle thing.
No, ever. Riding with Tubby. Tubby.
I'd love to get a picture of that. That had to look like the circus where the elephant and then the trainers behind it.
Oh my God. And so we're up in the Panhandle doing some appearance. We flew in his private plane. Lord knows that was probably a death trap. And so, we're someplace. And he's like, my buddy, he's got some weed back in his room. He's like, let's go. And so I was like, all right. And I get on this motorcycle with him, and he's just hauling down the strip, and I'm just holding on for dear life, man. And he's driving like a maniac, and I'm holding on. And nuts to butts.
That's it. And you have no hope. Like, it's all up to the individual driving.
God.
Like, it's all on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get there, and then we get real high, and then we drive all the way back, and he drives the same way, and I'm like, oh my God,
dude,
there's nothing to do. I got to get back. It was like a mile and a half away.
Yeah.
Whew, that was a thrill ride. It was a thrill ride.
Can't do that. Yeah. You wouldn't do that again, right?
No, I wouldn't.
What if I was to come over and be like, hey,
no, I ain't interested in. Trace he's the four-wheeler, the motorcycle guy. He's always been into that stuff. Yeah, I just like to play softball and soccer and basketball. I never cared to, if it's got mechanics in it, I don't want to jet skiing. Yay, we're going really fast. Let's go play some soccer. Let's go play some volleyball. Yeah, volleyball.
Evel Knievel. I used to always think about Evel Knievel with his motorcycles, and I'm going, did this guy get famous because he just continued to fail?
He really did.
It's the most insane concept of like, I'm going to jump this, and then you don't make it, and everybody's like, go Evel! But he didn't clear it.
He was a master of
not clearing it.
He's a master of not dying. Because, the famous Vegas one where he's a rag doll. You've seen that one?
Yeah.
And later on they did a documentary, and they're like, when Evel got to the venue, it seems there wasn't enough room, and they'd shortened the runway, like the landing way, and he was like, fuck it, I'm doing it anyway.
I'm in.
Oh, and then he does the rag doll. He broke like 18, 20 bones, and it's like made him more famous.
There was, he lived.
Every once in a while he'd make it.
Every once in a while. He'd and then it was like, and then it became a disappointment when he made it, because it's like, thought we were going to see him ragdoll.
To me, there's nothing more important than a successful, car jump. 8 buses. Yeah. He made it. He made it.
Nobody wants to see him make it. He used to live down the street from the old radio station. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And Cowhead and Pete the Sports Geek lived together in the same building.
Oh, my God.
And it was a trip because you would see Evel Knievel's RV just parked permanently out there because he lived in this 2-bedroom condo in the same place or whatever. And if I'm not mistaken, if I remember the story correctly, we made fun of Evel Knievel on the air.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think Evel Knievel knew that Cowhead lived there, and coincidentally, he got his mail one day and knocked on his door, and Cowhead opened the door, and there was Evel Knievel, I got your mail, or something like that. He's like, thanks. But the weird thing, this full circle thing, but just the fact that Evel Knievel lived down the street from the radio station, and I would just picture Evel Knievel living in this giant mansion, just this palatial palace. He's Evel Knievel.
Evel Knievel. He didn't pay so much back then, I think.
No, two or 3-bedroom apartment with an RV out front.
He's probably lucky to have that.
I guess.
Probably lucky. Yeah, probably. How much did you pay getting paid? For, back then, $75,000 or something, and he was an alcoholic and everything. Probably blew everything he ever had. A real crotchety dick. People probably didn't want to hire him anymore.
He was crotchety.
He was crotchety as
Whenever
hell.
I met him, he was certainly crotchety.
He was real crotchety.
Yeah.
Evel Knievel.
You'd be crotchety too if you had, 9,000 broken bones.
Constant pain.
And then he did. Pain. Remember, he did that commercial. There was an as seen on TV commercial for some sort of pain pen that you would press on your skin. It's just like this, just like a.
Works miracles.
Works miracles,
Yeah.
and it shows him on the commercial. He's just taking a pen all over his body. I feel great.
He has to
Do
cover
ya?
every square inch of his body.
He's wishing it was a knife to stab himself. Yeah, the medic pen or something.
I guess he's doing right. He did all right. He got to retire in sunny Florida.
I guess.
I guess. That's good. Yeah. Evil Knievel.
Evil Knievel.
It's like we played that drop so many times. Like we tried to get people on the phone with a
Yeah.
you motherfucker deal, and it's like it was bleeped, and so I took it in the studio and I just replaced his with my own, and I tried to imitate him and put the same like phone sound and everything.
Yes.
And I don't think a listener ever knew, and it's made the bit so much better because it was all the good stuff was always bleeped. So I was very proud of that. I duped everybody on that one.
You really did. That was a good edit job. Do you remember when the Cuck and Warren Sapp were fighting?
Yeah.
Okay. It was a big thing where
yeah.
Warren Sapp called up and, had it out. Big, like 10-minute argument or
I
whatever.
remember that.
The issue is it was off air. So it was not on the air originally. It was after the show had ended and Sapp had called in. And so the Cuck took the call and recorded it
Of course.
off air, right? Well, you can't play that on air unless you've got Sapp's approval. So we had to creatively edit it to where the Cuck's at the beginning of the call going, "We're going to put this on the air. Is that okay with you?"
I remember that.
And Sapp, we had to edit Sapp's like,
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we edited the approval to air it. So
I remember that.
So we wouldn't get sued.
It was a very casual kind of record. Just go, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and the quality didn't quite match. Like if you were to really had a trained audio ear, you could hear the difference between the two recordings.
But we went with it.
Went with it. Never got called out on it.
Called out. I wonder if Sat was like, "Man, I can't believe I said that."
Damn!
They got me again.
Didn't know I was going to be on the air. I guess I agreed to it.
Sat probably never even heard that us play it.
Hey, who knows? He's got bigger fish to fry, I'm sure.
I wonder. Looking back, you see everything. I was always given one version of the story. Was Sapp the a-hole in that thing? Because he was kind of an a-hole sometimes, or was that being embellished for me to not like Sapp? And it was a completely fictitious story, and somebody else was to blame.
Well, immediately I would say number 2. But it depends on what version you're talking about. I mean, as far as like the Warren Sapp story, he was an a-hole because why? The original story was Warren Sapp wouldn't take a picture.
I don't flick, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that. Like, it doesn't make him an asshole for 20 years. Like, it's just... and on top of it, I've learned that people have bad days. Sometimes you just have a bad day. And sometimes people rub you the wrong way. And sometimes, in the case of Sapp, he wasn't coming there in the studio and hanging out because he wanted to. He was getting paid.
Yeah.
It was a job to him, just like the television commercial was a job to him. So, yeah, anything outside the scope of work, if you're Warren Sapp and you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it. So it completely makes sense to me why. I mean, maybe not the friendliest move, but he was nice to me.
He was always cool when he came in. When he came in, he was always totally cool.
Yeah, I don't,
He reeked of weed and he was good natured. He's totally cool.
Yeah, so I think our answer is probably the same on that one.
Then Brad Culpepper. He's kind of a smug one. He's kind of a smug one. He's likable, but he's pretty smug.
Pretty smug, but years later I look back and I'm going, I'd probably be pretty smug if I'm him too, right? Like you're a football player,
Super Bowl champion, and you're smart enough to then parlay that in, play football and go to law school at the same time, come out, start your own law firm. Like he's a successful dude, like. Maybe it's a go-getter.
Yeah, it might not be smug. It might be a thing of going confidence, right? Like as opposed to smugness.
No, he's pretty smug.
Yeah.
But I mean, he seemed like a decent guy.
Yeah.
But he was like when we used to come into the studio, he weighed he wasn't that tall. He was like maybe 6 even. 300 pounds at one point. I believe. And then when he quit the NFL, he was like 180. It's like he was juiced up like nobody's business.
Yeah, they called me up to the lobby. They're like, "Hey, you've got somebody up. Brad's here to see you." So I go up there, and I'm looking in the lobby. There's 2 people in chairs, just 2 people sitting out there. I'm like, "Who's here to see me?" And they're like, "Brad." I'm like, "Who?" It didn't look like the same person. You couldn't equate it all, which brings the bigger question of, are players still on the sauce? Because I don't know if Brad was on the sauce or not, but looks pretty saucy.
Yeah, it looked very saucy to me. Extremely saucy. I think they got to be on the sauce.
To this day, do they test?
Allegedly. There's got to be some kind of way that they beat it, like changing one molecule in the steroid. They got to be some way they beat it, because these guys, they look like, every one of them's like a complete physical specimen.
I hate watching football with my wife because I'm like, well, I'm nowhere close to this build at all. It just makes me feel so inferior when, there's a ripped, shredded ass player running down the field who's, 23 years old or whatever. I'm going, yeah, it's not me.
Apart from the linemen on both sides, everyone is a physical specimen.
Yes.
They're all like 6'3", like 220. And they would crush your head like a grape. It's just like freaks of nature. It's like in a different league.
Dude, I get disappointed when I go to like Dick's Sporting Goods or something. The mannequins of the male mannequins now are like 6'3", jacked, and I'm going, that's not the way mannequins looked back in the day. They now have
They were featureless back in the day.
Yeah, their feet now, like the mannequins are in way better shape than I am. But by the same token, I think they did the same thing with the female mannequins. I think they've made them a little bit more demure. So to speak.
Oh yeah.
Some are thicker, some are skinnier. They got like, they used to be a standard mannequin. Now they've got different molds.
Now they got fat mannequins. I don't know if that's progress or not. I don't know.
I don't know,
man.
I don't know.
I think there's gonna be a lot more fat mannequins. Pretty soon, it'd be rare to see a skinny mannequin.
No.
Look, it's a skinny mannequin.
Ozempic's going to bring everybody back down.
What's that going to be like when the Ozempic bubble bursts and we find out the truth about Ozempic? There's something going on there. It can't be good for you. There's no magic cure.
I don't know. I like the fact that it's there, because then if you're the fat one, then you're going to be the odd one out. It's like, when Chubby comes into style or something, there's going to be a few dudes out there, a few truck drivers that are like, yeah, it's my time to shine. And then there's all these.
Chubby's in fashion right now.
Is it?
I think it is. Lizzo, look at Lizzo, man. Big is beautiful, Matthew. Get with the times.
Who's
There's no fat shaming. Fat is you'll see so many fat girls in commercials now.
Who's the model? Who's
Ashley Graham or
Graham?
something?
Yes. You think she's attractive?
She's for a big boned girl. Yeah, she's big boned for sure. But it's like,
but she's attractive, right?
But now see, they're putting models now that aren't attractive, Matt. Why would you discriminate against unattractive people? Now you're getting fat and unattractive people as models.
I like my models attractive. Call me crazy. Call me old school. I want the models to be attractive.
You're a nut job. You're a misogynistic nut job.
Okay, not misogynist. I want male models to be attractive as well. I'll make it even across the board. That's why they're models.
I agree with that too. It's like, I don't want to see an ugly guy shaving. I want to see a guy with a towel around his waist and a six-pack shaving and tell me how smooth this shave is.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't want to see a fat guy with his belly hanging out.
This shave is so smooth.
I don't want to see that.
I mean, it's the same thing for models for dogs, okay? If I'm watching a dog food, you don't see some scrappy ass, mutt that's fresh out the pound with, sticks hanging out its fur. No, it's a finely well-fed, well-bred.
Glossy.
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 The coat is nice. Like, even dog lovers don't want to see ugly dogs in the commercials.
I think you've made a good point.
Thank you.
They should bring back the good-looking models. And
Damn it, yes.
Get rid of these freaks. These ugly people. They should have remained in the closet.
That's right. The ugly people remain on the radio. Let's.
You don't see me in an ad trying to be hot,
Right?
Come on.
Be a very weird move.
You see Brad Pitt. That's what we want to see. Brad Pitt's got to play the lead. Makes it more believable.
That's a beautiful man right there.
He's a beautiful man. Let's take a break. I need a
that
drink.
time already?
I need a drink badly. Yeah, it's been an hour. I got the cotton mouth kick. I got the cotton mouth kicking.
Let's do it.
Okay, let me see. I think I'm gonna play here. So many things I can't play.
Bump, bump, bump.
I'm gonna play. I don't even know what I'm looking at. This is arduous. I'm gonna play Rich Doggy. Don't laugh at Rich Doggy.
I don't know what
Rich
Doggy
Doggy
is.
don't play no games. That's my 9-year-old's song. She likes to go sing rap songs, so
Oh, that's
I'll
right.
go give her a bed and say, go do some freestyle. Way better than Drake's son. We'll be right back with more of The Hang with Mike and Matt.
Hey, Rich Doggy. Rich Doggy in the house. Oh, yeah. Yeah! Let's get this started. Why you so crazy like a bull? He's crazy! Oh, wait, you're not crazy cause you lay on. Oh, you're too lazy! Rich Doggy! Rich Doggy! Kitty, you should rename yourself Lazy Doggy. Whoa! You're also best friends with Rich Kitty. Rich Kitty! Because you're both rich. Both rich! We get it! You're so crazy I can squeeze you. Squeeze you like a stick! Cause you're so skinny. I can crack you like you're like a little stick. I can break. I can break ya! I hate this. I hate this song. But I'm still singing it. I like you. You don't like me. You're so annoying. As known as Rich Kid. Hey! Little Rich Doggy! Rich Doggy! Why you right here right now? Why? Rich Kitty! Rich Kitty! Friend, but I hate her and you. You're so crazy. The friendly animals like, friendly pipples. Oh wait, there is no such thing as that. Maybe because you're the crazy people, but I call you Rich Pickle. But rich! But you are too crazy for that. You're rich, Doggy, and I like to prove that. Here's my approval that you can say that. Here's my approval. Here's my approval that you can say that. Oh, I am Rich Kitty, you can say that too. Oh, wait, Rich Kitty, I need to tell you something too. I have my approval that you can say that about you on your essay. Yeah. That is your approval! You so crazy! Crazy! You don't know how to act. Even your mama can't fix that. Like a rat. Even your mama couldn't fix that. Hey, Rich Doggy. You're in the house! You so crazy like a little crazy! Oh wait, they're not crazy, they're just lazy! Just like you, you're just as lazy as one. Rich Doggy.
Welcome back to The Hang with Mike and Matt. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in on Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, Twitch, however you're getting to see us. We appreciate appreciate those who appreciate the dying art of intelligent conversation.
Well, I don't know about intelligent, but conversation nonetheless.
It's definitely semi-intelligent.
Semi.
It's semi-intelligent. That's our alley. That's our niche.
Talking about how jealous I am of mannequins' bodies. Yes.
You know.
Semi.
Yeah. Boy, I hear these. Never mind.
Take it easy.
Yeah, exactly. I heard one today.
Take it
To
easy.
be very vague, I heard one today, and it's like the rank amateurness of the people in charge galls me.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, what you gonna do? You're gonna hang. You're just gonna hang
Yeah.
and not worry about it.
Well, I know Donna was saying that the Ned's Navy on Twitch there, we were talking about him retiring or whatever. She was like, we asked him and then we never went back to it. That's us.
That's you know.
Kind of how we do things.
It's loosey goosey.
Yeah.
Scatterbrained and loosey goosey. Scatter shot.
But he's 52, I think, is what Donna said.
52. You better hope you don't.
And he
live to be-
retired at 52?
What if you lived to 92? Ned's Navy
That guy must be.
got
He must have done something right.
or something wrong.
He's in his 70s, like, I got to go back to work. I got to join the workforce again.
Could he have to be a Walmart greeter? See, I have no idea.
I don't know.
You know, he's got a nice setup there. Probably, you know, if you're gonna find property. You know, you can't be doing it near a metropolitan area anymore, else you're gonna pay out your ass. So he's probably got a decent piece of property, not too
Off in the
expensive.
cut.
Like the property taxes, you know, like even in Pasco now are getting to be ridiculous. And it's like, well, when you retire and you think you've paid off your house, the government goes, no way. We just raised
never-
your property taxes by a double.
It's so weird. You
What?
never pay off your house. It's the
Never,
strangest
ever,
concept
ever.
When I was a kid, I thought it's going back to the whole American dream.
The
thing.
American dream.
But it really it's not true. And it's difficult to tell your kids, hey, it's like, let me shoot a little reality into it. It ain't going to be what you think it is at all.
It's like you can't get a house for under, you know, $250,000.
Yeah.
You know, how do you pay off a house? Well, that's worth $250,000 when you're first starting out. That's going to be your first house, and Lord knows when you can afford that, how much they're going to be for the minimum. I mean, the median house price in the United States is like $400,000 or something like that. It's like, what?
It's so weird.
How does that even happen?
Everything's so strange.
It's so weird. It's a weird time to be. I never experienced this. Like when I think it was in the 70s, and I was a teenager under Jimmy Carter, and there was like really bad inflation and everything. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah.
You know, I lived at home. I didn't even know there was inflation. So I guess there's a lot of people.
That, and no offense, but there was like 3 channels, and there wasn't a lot of outlets. You couldn't. The information wasn't quite as accessible as it is now.
That's why they want to be on TikTok.
Boy, they could really control the information back in the day. I mean, you could really think about that. If you had a narrative, like 9/11 is probably the first time where I thought about a narrative. Or no, I take that back. The original Iraq War. That was the first time where I probably heard a narrative that in my life that I could resonate with. But before that, like, I mean, anytime you had a narrative, they could probably just do that pretty easily through the media, because there was only a couple sources, right? Like,
and the government tells us the 3 sources what to say, and they say.
Now at least you've got some, other opinions, whether they're right or not. At least you've got some sort of like dissenting opinions.
I mean, back in the day, we were going into Iraq for really no reason. They had nothing to do with 9/11.
No.
But the government had like planted seeds, like there was something, there was a training camp in Iraq or some kind of bullshit.
And then
like
it turned into weapons of mass
And
destruction.
then you got Colin Powell with a vial of paprika or something, whatever you call that. And saying it's yellow cake uranium, and it's like I wasn't a rocket scientist back then, but I was just a judgment. That's not real. We know we're going to this war, and people. I said that on the air back in the day.
Oh, you couldn't? Yeah.
And the people are like, "You're a communist,
Yeah.
Manson." I was like, because I don't want us to go to an illegal war and kill a bunch of people just for the hell of killing them, so we can make some money.
It's funny. If you go, you look back at that stuff when all that went down, and you go, what was the name of the band? The Dixie Chicks.
Yeah, Dixie Chicks.
And they came out and they were,
Canceled. That's one of the first
bro,
cancellations.
they got canceled fast. No, although I do sort of agree with that aspect too. Like,
Put on a
nobody's
short
here
dress.
to see your opinion. Put on a short dress and sing the hits.
That's it.
If she hadn't said that statement at that moment in time,
Where would the Dixie Chicks be now?
one would still probably,
I mean, they weren't that great.
yeah, they had a couple good songs,
Yeah,
but you couldn't even get
yeah.
caught listening to the Dixie Chicks at that moment in time. You're like, it was so anti-American.
And that's when, like the people who get the maddest are the people who are always like, you gotta support the Constitution.
Yeah.
And, well, what about the right to free speech? They should have the right to free speech. And you sit and worry, it's America. You don't like their opinion? No. That's what the country's based on. People saying whatever's on their mind, whatever.
Well, yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole to-do.
It's a whole to-do.
It does bring me back to the moon landing. Not that in particular, but the fact that we were supposed to, I guess it was supposed to be some rocket that was supposed to take off this week.
Yes, the Ulna from I have it written down, robotics kind of a group. They're going to land on the moon.
They were going to land on the moon. And something went wrong.
Yes.
Right.
The solar panels were not pointed in the right direction.
So it caused them to not be able to.
Yeah, I can't go there. It lost power.
But going back to the original moon landing,
Yeah.
they were able to pull it off
Oh, yeah.
easily.
First time. With men on board. This one doesn't have men on board.
Right.
This is, yeah.
This is
first
where
time.
this is where the stuff blows my
We
mind.
did it 6 times, bitch. 6 times we sent men in the capsule 200 or 400,000 miles away, and then they landed, and then you got a video of them. The thing blows up and goes back up into
Yeah.
space and somehow connects back with this thing that's orbiting the moon, and then they went back to 200,000 miles.
But now you
6 times.
fast forward, what was it, 50, 60, whatever, however many years it is later, and they're scrapping this mission because it ain't working. And then there's another rocket that's going to be built by SpaceX or in conjunction with NASA or something. And they're looking to launch in 2026, maybe.
Yeah.
And and they're still aiming that, but they've keep pushing off the date of like, oh, we were supposed to do it, in 2024, and then 2025, and I think it keeps getting
Going to the moon?
Yeah,
Yeah. 26 is the earliest I've heard anybody say it.
but
They can't do it.
But we were
They
able
can't
to.
do it. There's no way to do it.
I don't want to believe the moon conspiracy, but when I see 2 rocket launches with the technology we have now and everything we can do, and they are openly admitting that, yeah, we can't really get to the moon right now, doesn't it just there's a little creeping of doubt that comes in there, and I can't help it. I don't want to believe it.
I mean, I never doubted the moon landing, and then like just in the last couple of years, I went, oh yeah, I've had to be fake. I didn't know if you can question.
Seems so
It's the most
unbelievable.
preposterous thing I've ever heard in my life. It's like, look, how long it took like them to figure out how to land those rocket boosters back on the deck of a ship.
Now. Yeah.
But we knew how to land a lunar module on the surface of the moon, 200,000 miles away. I don't know what kind of Sega controls they had in there. It's not even believable.
Well, and think about this part too, is you're not even talking about, the landing of the rockets back on the ship. You're not even talking about somebody that was in like old school now. You're talking about a guy, Elon Musk, who's like, yeah, we can just do that. And he's an engineer guy, and then he found some good people to surround. But it's a whole new breed of people who weren't involved in that system. And it took a fresh mind like Elon Musk to go, hey, why don't we just reuse these? Before everybody was like, huh. And I remember when he was doing that, some lady at NASA goes, well, we just don't believe that's the right model for space, is to reuse, and we feel like over the long term, it's not going to be beneficial. Like, dude, this guy's landing rockets back weekly. Like weekly.
Yeah, but NASA is a government agency.
Right.
So they want to make sure that they spend their entire budget and more.
Fair.
Why reusable rockets just cost them $20 million.
Yeah.
So that's all it is.
It's
So progress probably got thwarted big time by just government. It's a government agency.
Every
Nothing gets
time.
done in a government agency.
every time I want to like buy in or believe the government, something just gives me more pause and caution to go, nope, don't believe them. I mean, dude, the FBI, perfect example. I know that personally. When I see Vivek going, that agency should be shut down, I'm going, there's a fair point to that because I know the shit I went through from that agency, and it was minuscule compared to
to national politics.
right? Like, dude, there's a lot of corruption.
Well, I mean, it should be common knowledge. You're taking agencies and organizations like the CIA and the FBI that have been around for I don't know how many decades, going on close to a century probably, and you don't think they're like any other corporation or entity that just becomes corrupt over time because that's just how mankind works.
Right. Eventually,
these
it's gonna
people
get
have
mucked
power.
up.
These people have power.
Yeah.
Not only is it like a huge organization, but that they wield a lot of power. They're some of the most powerful people in the world. They know everything that goes on in the world.
Yeah.
They're privy to everything. So why wouldn't absolute power corrupts absolutely. That is not a joke. That's, so it's corrupt. So maybe you need to wipe the slate clean every once in a while and start from scratch.
Yeah, something's very odd. I can't. I don't want to get too deep into what I went through, but Jesus Christ, if you were to know all the details about what, you'd be like, whoa, that's weird. How could they do that? Why do they how could they lie about that? Like, it was really strange.
Like sometimes
It doesn't give you a lot of confidence.
Sometimes it's as simple as like a guy who works for the FBI wants to keep his job, and you might have to pay the price.
Yeah.
He can't be wrong, or he can't fail.
Yeah.
He's got to win to keep his job. That's the way it is, human nature.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about it before. I know but it comes down to wins and losses. They don't view it as like humans are humans, and what's the actual? It's, nope. You got to win, baby. You got to get this. You got to collar them.
You got to keep your job. It's like like George Bush Sr. was the head of the CIA. So you can imagine how many times George Bush Sr. had like people killed. That's like part of the job.
Allegedly.
I'm not. No, any head of the CIA, I imagine, has people killed all over the world all the time, because that's what that's what we do.
There's a fair point to that.
So isn't he a sociopath, or how do you do that job as just a normal person? Because they're not doing it for national security. They're doing it probably to enrich their rich friends. So that makes you a real son of a bitch.
How about your boy Ray Epps getting sentenced?
What do you get? Probation.
Yeah.
Why is he my boy?
I don't know. Just because I know you don't like Ray Epps as much as I don't like Ray Epps.
I was kind of surprised that our politics kind of align. It's like
Really?
Yeah. I mean, just like a lot. It seems like it doesn't seem like you have any radical beliefs that I find to be asinine.
Well, that's good news. and the same compliment to you, sir.
See, it's like just if you have common sense and you can see, if any time in the world there was a time to see through the bullshit, and realize, this is something's going on. It's them against us. It's not them against them. It's them against us.
Yeah.
You got to get that.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the stuff that I went through helped me really clarify looking at agencies and government and open my eyes and go, oh, yeah, I didn't want to believe this could happen, but it absolutely can happen. And if they can make that happen to me, or so, like, then they can absolutely make it happen to things that matter. You know what I'm saying? Like things that actually matter. But yeah, no, the Ray Epps thing, a perfect example. Like, I mean, it took a outcry from the public, from him getting roasted online, from all these people going, hey, what's up with this guy? For them to even go,
look at it.
All right, we'll take a gander at it. And now the gander with him getting sentenced, it's such a bullshit sentence. It's not even like, why'd you even do it, right? It's like, hey man, do a little community service. Like it's bullshit.
It's not believable. It's not believable.
It makes it more unbelievable, right? Like it's the sentence when everybody else that got sentenced really very harshly. I mean, overall,
you got Podium Guy.
Podium Guy.
He got whatever, a couple years or something.
And the only reason he got out that was the guy.
Shaman.
The Shaman guy.
Q Shaman guy. He got 2 years too.
But he would still be in there if it wasn't for like the Tucker Carlsons of the world questioning it.
I mean, like they show. See, I just don't understand. You see, I don't give a shit about. Either way, it just seems like a big load of bullshit. And you watch the video where they're taking the Q Shaman around, and the cops are glad handing him, and he, they're moseying around like it's no big deal. And then the guy gets 2 years for what? Why didn't the cops arrest him on the spot right there? Yeah. They were yucking it up with him and showing him around. They were trying to let him in the chamber. They went, oh, these doors don't work. Let's go let you in. Yeah, and it's like, doesn't any sane person look at that and go, well, that's a bunch of bullshit. But one half of the people don't look at it that way. It's like, that.
And then you've got this government agency, and then you've got the people like Ray Epps. Just just fucking enabling. You're just enabling. You're professional enablers of trying to stir it up. Man, and I got to tell you, if I happened to be at the Capitol, not that I was not.
Ooh, me either.
But if would have happened to be there, and they were like, the police there, and they took the gates and they parked them to the side and they're waving people in.
Yeah.
I would be hard pressed to go, oh yeah, I'd like to see what that building looks like. That seems kind of cool,
That's a good photo op.
right?
Walk in between the velvet ropes and take some pics. Some selfies.
Yeah, and you're not trying to cause any harm, but you're going, oh wow, that cop just said I could just walk in. That's cool. All right, I'll take a picture, and then that picture then translates into you getting arrested, your life turned upside down, and sentenced to prison.
Losing your job.
Huh?
Losing your job. So what are you not going to do anymore, even though you didn't do it in the first place? What are you not going to do in the future?
I don't do anything. I don't want anything to do with anything at all. Like,
No, but I mean, what one thing would you not do?
oh man.
You would not protest the government.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you'll get 2 years in prison.
Oh yeah.
So if the average person's like, well, I'm going to go. No, I ain't going to go protest that. That's the only reason it's there.
you're right.
It's a big charade.
And not that I would be the big protester guy
Me either,
anyways.
me either.
However, if
But-
there was something I was passionate about where I felt like I would want to protest and all that, I certainly have pause now. I certainly have enough evidence in the past to go, I'm not doing that. They already made an example of a lot of people. I'm not doing that. And so I sit
You're
on my
already
hands.
You're already on their radar. Oh, now we can get that. We can finally get that Matt Lloyd. Showed up at the Capitol snapping pictures. He went behind the velvet rope. We got him.
I'm gonna go to the Oldsmar City Hall. I'll show you from a small metropolis city hall.
An insurrection.
Oh, I thought we were here for the erections. But
It's Mike and Matt. It's the hang.
it is.
Every Wednesday night, we can't get enough of it. We just can't get enough of ourselves. We've been pent up.
I'm
Pent
unzipped.
up. We're unzipped. That should be change it from the hang to unzipped.
It sounds perverted.
It's good. See, but it's not. It's more almost more double entendre than let's talk pussy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Unzipped, man. Unzipped could mean anything. Unzipped.
So can I tell you a deep, dark secret that I
I knew it. I knew it.
have never told anybody before?
Please do.
All right. Well, I told one person. You know, a few weeks back, I was saying how like I might be autistic, and you were making fun of me, and you're like, "Oh, it doesn't come on late in life, and there's no late stage autism." And
You have late stage autism.
so
Yes.
I've been taking it very serious, like for real,
Yeah.
for real. There's been a lot of things that have happened. So I took a test, and the results of the test, Mike,
Yes.
there's a 98% chance that I'm autistic.
Wow.
Yeah,
98%.
98%.
That's almost infallible.
it's helping me put a lot of things in perspective about like different stuff in my life and going, why did I handle that situation like this? Or, like, it doesn't, I'm not feeling like I've changed. I'm the same person, right? But a lot of pieces are coming together, the puzzle now. And I'm going, because the questionnaire they have you take, like all the different questions, like 130 questions or something like that. And to me, the responses are normal, right? Like just the way I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently not the case. Apparently it's autistic responses for whatever that's worth.
I can almost guarantee you, Matt, that if I took the same exact test, that I would come out to be autistic.
You know what's funny? My wife said the
But
exact same thing.
I'm not autistic, though. They've expanded the diagnosis of autism to great epic proportions so that anybody can be labeled autistic.
Interesting you say that too. So my wife took the same test right after me. Mm-hmm. There's a 100% chance that she does not have autism. And
100% chance.
And like based on the quiz, but like that's the picture of like how you are on the, I guess the spectrum, or
Yeah.
and my wife's is completely on the other side. And
But that's a woman taking it. She's just trying to beat you. She just wanted to take a better test than you.
No,
she
the
just wanted to
question-
say she intentionally answered the things to make sure that she didn't have autism, so she could beat you.
no, you're just giving honest responses to questions. But she did say, she goes, I wonder if Manson's autistic. I go, what makes you say that? She goes, you guys seem sort of similar and stuff. And I go, he probably is. I go, he's probably
Not autistic. You're not autistic either.
apparently
buddy.
I am, buddy.
Not autistic. You're just looking to get some meds. I know.
No, I don't. I don't
You're
even.
not autistic.
I don't
just
even
a normal
want-
human being with certain flaws and idiosyncrasies.
See what happens to me. I open up. This is first person I'm telling. I haven't even told my mother this. Not even my mother knows.
Not even my mother.
And here you are chastising me. Very disappointed in your response here.
I'm sorry. So tell me about all the things in your life that your autism affects.
I don't want to go into.
How you're barely surviving as a husband, a father, and a parent, and an employee, and a part-time hanger. And how you
It's not easy being me.
now see, but now I'm thinking disability. Disability.
So there is actually an increase in like your disability, your Social Security, whatever, if you have a diagnosis. The issue I'm having is to actually go put it on the record as being diagnosed.
Yeah.
Because then I think it comes with all sorts of caveats of pre-existing condition. There's probably becomes like a bigger
big to-do.
A big to-do.
big to-do.
It's like I'd rather just tell you and have you make fun of me than for me to tell other people.
Yeah.
But here I am telling you, and
Plus-
this is not.
Well, I think the autistic are going to be the first ones rounded up and put in the camps. I'm just telling you this for your own good.
Well, guess what? You're going to camp with me.
I'm not taking that test.
Take the test. Take the test.
So it's just an online test, and I can take it and see if I'm autistic.
Yeah, you can.
Fantastic. I
Yeah.
want to do that. 130 question. That probably takes a while, but I'll do it.
No, it's not
I'll
that
do
bad.
it. I'll do it. Well, I'll take it over here, and we'll see if we're all autistic.
I would be. It's a very curious.
Yeah, that's fun.
But you have
I
to
love
be
taking
tr-
tests.
You really have to be honest with your answers. Like there was
Yeah,
some
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And then there's certain questions where, like a 0 accounts for a question mark, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
So on some of those, I'm really thinking about it. I'm trying to give a thoughtful, truthful, honest response. I'm going, I don't know. Like as opposed to doing a score, I'm just
Yeah.
like, I don't know. So I'd put question marks by them. So I feel like I was pretty honest in it. Not like because I don't. It's not one of those things where you game the system or something like that. It's just an honest quiz.
Yeah. So what the quiz mistakes for autism? You're just wishy-washy. Yeah, question mark. I don't know.
I've been diagnosed with the wishy-washyism.
And how did you deserve an increase in your benefits now?
So do you, Michael.
I want to get
So do you.
I got Tourette's. I got autism, Tourette's. I got a myriad of.
I should have never told you that.
Mental illnesses.
thought I was telling you something. Thought I was giving you something juicy.
I'm not anti. I'm being pro Matt.
It
Being
doesn't
pro Matt. You're not autistic, Matt.
Look,
Don't
dude.
fall for that spiel.
Look, I'm not changing my daily autistic routine at all. Like my routine is my routine. It doesn't make a difference in my life per se, but I find it interesting that it answers. So, like, okay, I'll give you a good example. For however many years, my life was on a routine with morning radio or whatever. Right?
Big routine. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, alarm clock 3 a.m. Show prep at this time. Blah blah. Blah. Everything was on point, right? And then if something would throw me off my routine to this day, if something throws me off my routine, I freak out. I'm like, well, like, but
So you need routine, man.
I need structure
I
in
do
my
too.
life.
I need structure as well.
And you know why that is, Mike?
Because I'm autistic.
That's correct.
You can't get no good meds for it. No good meds.
I don't want any
I think
meds.
you get Adderall and stuff.
I don't.
More money and Adderall. That's what I want.
I've already got ADHD, so I've already got a prescription for Adderall.
My prescription ran out 3 years ago, and I haven't been back to the doctor to get it. Maybe one of these days.
That's a whole to do.
It's a whole to do.
You're a lazy autistic. I think that's what it is.
My autism is my laziness.
Yeah, you're the lack of structure.
I need structure.
Yeah,
I need more structure in my life.
You're a different kind of.
I think I'm going to become a janitor. I need to get some of that structure back in my life. I used to be a janitor when I was 14.
How'd it go?
I was good at radio and janitoring. Well, I worked for my dad. He was the principal, but I got paid, and I tried to do a good job. All you had to do was sweep the rooms, clean the sinks.
Did you get paid good at the time?
Oh, I was like $25 an hour.
Damn.
Balling.
Get that 401k. I feel like government employees, it's not bad. They get a good, they get pensions.
Yeah.
You know.
Unless the government goes broke. But for right now, that's not a bad deal. You get your pension, retire.
As a janitor, are you there during school or just before and after?
I was just an afternoon teenage janitor.
So you didn't have to deal with
I didn't have to hang out during the day and clean up the puke or anything. I had to deal with nothing. Just had to clean up the classrooms at the end of the day. Boy, they were messy too. Just savages. That was back in the day.
What was the worst mess? What was the worst mess you found?
No, it wasn't that messy. It's just always dirty and it was like a war zone. You had to go tidy up the entire room after the day's over. These kids are savages, and that was decades ago.
It's got to be bad now, right?
I can't. I think the Florida teachers, the starting salary is like 60-something thousand. That's not a bad, living. And all you need is like an AA degree or something to be a teacher. And I was like, I like working with kids. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, because
I guarantee it's not a good scene to sign up for.
The trade-off is you got to deal with those kids. The 60 grand thing, that, you're right, for an AA and starting off, and okay, that's great. But I think your raises are minimal, and the kids seem to become bigger dicks every year.
Yeah.
Or you're getting older every year, and there's just a gap there that starts that separation gap between.
They all got phones, and they can videotape you, and so you got to watch what you say. You never used to have to watch what you say as a teacher that much, Nobody's spying on you. Now everybody's got a phone. Better not blow your top in class, teacher.
That's true.
I'll make you a viral sensation.
And then you got some kid looking to kick your ass and threatens you and throws stuff at you and dares you to hit him. And then all the kids in the class are just laughing and all videotaping it, like you said.
It's like a movie.
Did
you see the teacher? I think it was in Florida. She took the guy's PS or either his phone or something. And he's like a 6 foot, 250. Give me my phone! Yeah, and she's running out, she's running out. And he cold cocks her and she, cracks her skull on the thing and all that stuff. It's like, I ain't dealing with that, man. I don't know who's going to be a teacher. Who's going to be a cop?
Oh, I was reading an article today about cops. They were saying even for a starting salary of $112,000 in wherever this was,
wow,
they cannot find people to do it. And I kind of get that, because then I'm looking at, arrests today in Polk County, some article about some kid toucher up there getting busted, and I'm going, man, Polk County, again, Sheriff
cesspool.
It is how can you have a sheriff that is apparently and allegedly so on point and so good not be able to control shit for Polk County? I mean, are there that many scumbags, or he's not that great?
I don't know. It seems like it's a scumbag capital of the world, because he's doing these things. No other sheriff is doing it, but Grady Judd does these stings, and he tries to arrest these
nonstop.
These teenage, people are trying to get teenagers, and it's every 2 or 3 months there's a line of 100 people that Grady Judd arrested for pedophilia.
This man works at Disney,
and they all work. They're teachers and Disney workers.
You don't want him around your child.
And then he give you a Grady Judd zinger. He's always got a zinger. And about half the time it doesn't. It's a clunker. But every once in a while, he'll have a good one. I think he needs a new writer.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a cop. No way I'd be a cop.
Nightmare. Just dealing with never. What good calls do cops go on? Pleasant calls.
Yeah.
None. I don't think none.
Like military. If I'm going military, I used to answer that question easily, because I'd go, all right, if I had to go military,
Yeah.
Coast Guard, right? I mean, not. It certainly is not. Not the intensity. At least it appears as a Marine or Navy guys like that. But with the new Space Force, I feel like I would have to get recruited in Space Force. Because that one, I feel like you're not really going to do much for a little while. Like, eventually, Space Force will come into play. But right now, if you're
Space Force,
if you're a kid coming out of high school, looking for some structure, and want to get, man, I wish I had a recruiter that was like, "Hey, son, are you interested in the Space Force?" I'd have been like, "I absolutely am."
How many people are in the Space Force? Do we have thousands of troops in the Space Force?
Okay, Mike, it's a government agency. Of course. It's got to be bloated and inflated already, right?
And are they, is it a total work or just this preposterous nothingness of pretend space, or are they working on stuff? Those are the guys working on the drones and everything, and they're like super advanced technology, and it's not really space. It's just I don't know what. Or is it a joke? I don't even know.
Either way, I'd totally go into the Space Force. Looking back at it, if out of high school, I'd probably be like, yeah, I'll do the Space Force. That sounds like a good idea.
I'm going to see them in the Space Force Academy as a football team. They play Army and Navy and Air Force. Just get their asses waxed. Space Force geeks. 117-0.
Space Force.
Masks. Scott's a guy in an astronaut suit. It's a joke. Go Space Force.
It's a great name for an agency, though, because it seems so unreal. It seems preposterous. Remember when Trump came out with Space Force and was like, ha, ha, ha. It just doesn't sound real yet.
I think it's a work. I think it's a scam because you notice it would seem like it would be an opportunity for the Democrats to really clown them on the Space Force. They go, Space, oh yeah. Nobody said nothing. They're like, yeah, Space Force.
It's like officially a branch of the military.
Space Force.
Space Force.
I wonder what the uniforms are. Are they preposterous?
It's a good question.
Something out of a movie?
Okay, let me look it up because that's actually. Are you looking it up over there?
Yeah.
All right, you look it up. I don't know why I said that threatening. I didn't mean to. Fine, you look it up.
Oh, okay. That's not really.
Let me see.
It's just a regular.
Is it all
I think
spacey?
it's a regular old uniform. I thought it'd be more. That'd be more Star Trek.
It should be.
Yeah, I don't think there's no cool uniforms.
Well, that's okay.
No cool uniforms. I thought they'd really sell it. Like these guys were actually going to be in space.
Hold on.
Well, that ain't.
Is there any generals in the Space Force yet? General. Space Force. Because now's the time to get in to become a general, right? I mean.
On the ground floor.
Yeah. Something special. Yes. Chance Salzman.
He's a general?
Looks like he is
Space Force.
Chief of Space Operations, General Chance Salzman. Yeah.
Something legit at all. What are his qualifications? They could pull him right off the street.
Well,
some crony.
So it's got to be under the Air Force, right?
It's under the Air Force?
It might be under the Air Force.
I don't know.
And then you can just break off. Okay, here's the Space Force organizes, trains, and equips personnel in order to protect U.S. and allied interests in space and to provide space capabilities to the joint force. What a bullshit answer
sounds like
that
a bunch of bullshit to me.
That is the most government answer ever.
It could be doing everything or nothing. It could be a giant scam, or they could be doing a lot of things.
Wow. Space Force.
Space Force.
How to join. There are 3 ways to serve in the United States Space Force. Enlisted members participate and support operations officers. Civilians perform a mix of both support and management of Space Force operate. It's just a bunch of glippity-glop. All of it.
That's the government. It's a bunch of glippity-glop, and you're paying for it, and nobody knows what they do. And nobody... I wonder how many members does the Space Force have? Do they have 20,000 members?
Let's see.
Do they have 2,000? They have... I don't even...
What are you going to guess?
I'm going to say 2,000. I don't think we have a big Space Force. Could be wrong.
You said 2,000?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. How many members are in the Space Force? Ooh. Today, the Space Force consists of just over 8,000 active duty service members.
8,000.
About half officers and half enlisted. It's the smallest branch by far.
What are those 8,000 doing? What are
They're
those
supporting
eight-
the capabilities of space operations and allied services that enjoy to go to space.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
See, I don't know. I don't know what to think of the Space Force. Do you know what song Jim Harbaugh had his Michigan Wolverines sing after they won the Monday Night National Championship?
Do I have options here? We just
No,
gonna play.
no, you just have to guess.
No clue.
Oh, this is how you relate to your young guys.
For everybody, for everybody, for us. 1, 2.
Talk about being out of touch. Nobody.
Surprised the players knew it.
No, they must always have to do it with Harbaugh. Just every day, you go sing it right. Oh my God!
Ooh.
Brutal.
I mean, I get this is college, but
Come on.
then you take it up to the pro level and you see what the Raiders are doing in their locker room on post-game victory. Jesus Christ, they might as well. They might as well just have Vegas hookers in there at this point.
I mean, I know it's college, but shouldn't you have some, some
Like
kind
a
of
fight
rap,
song?
some rap music or something going on, and you could have some bottles of Welch's great, they got the Welch's fake grape champagne
Sparkling
kind of
cider?
thing. Yeah, I mean, shooting that stuff. I mean, look, this is the most antiseptic locker room I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, you're right. There is no partying at all.
They don't even look like they played a game. They're not even sweating.
That's true.
Come on, what a dork. Now we're going to sing, For He's a Jolly Good Fellow. It's like, that's the stupidest shit I ever seen.
That is a corny-ass song.
That's corn, man. That's corn, Harbaugh. Well, I guess he's a good coach.
Yeah, I lost money on that game.
You still doing it? How are you, up or down?
Oh, I'm down. My account's almost out of money, so I figure once that just runs out,
Then it's got to be the end.
I'm just going
It's got to be the end.
to call it a day. However, I did win a bet in the Dolphins game the other night. There was a super bet. It was like, if you,
super bad.
yeah, it was like if you bet now, your odds increase if Tyreek Hill scores a touchdown in the second quarter. And so I did it, right?
Yeah.
And my wife's like, what did you place the bet on? So I told her, she goes, you're not even doing games now? She's like, you're just doing individual players? I'm like, yeah. She goes, all right, we're going to have to do this is not good. But he scored. It, like, a minute left in the second quarter, he scored. And I was like, that happened. It actually happened. Money hit the account. I was like, let's let it ride.
You're good at this, man.
Yeah, I was feeling so splendid. I was like, man, Tyreek's all right. Let's get Miami to win. Wrong. And then it all went downhill.
That's the way it is. I'm not, I've watched football. I always watch football, but I'm becoming a little less enamored with the NFL. But it's like, there's no way in hell, no matter who was playing, that I'm going to download that Peacock thing and watch a playoff game. It's like, no, it's a huge money grab, just a huge money grab, and you don't care about your fans at all. So I'm definitely would never go out of my way to watch the NFL, and I wouldn't go to a game. I'll watch it on TV though. I need
Peacock.
No, it's like, don't make me jump through hoops. Fuck you. I ain't doing it. You're already on Apple. Now you're on Peacock. It's like you're just a huge money-making thing that just does not care about the. How many apps do you got to get to watch a goddamn?
Well, explain to me
football game?
what the deal with the Peacock is.
I don't even know.
Okay.
You got to get the app and you got to get Peacock to watch the game.
To watch any of the playoff games?
No,
or
to
just
get
certain-
to one playoff game. It's
Okay.
one. They're just starting it out so they can rape you later. It's
Yeah.
one game.
Testing
it's
the waters.
It's like, screw that.
Testing the rapey waters
Testing
of
them,
streaming.
yeah, and we'll see how those ratings go. I ain't doing it. I'll quit watching football before I do that shit.
Well, I don't know how much Peacock is or what else.
I
That's
don't
thing is
even
like,
know how much it is. It could be free, but it could be a 30-day. I ain't doing that sign up and then cancel bullshit either.
Then you get stung with 9,000 emails after you're in their
And
in their
you
system.
try to cancel it sometimes and you can't. All they got to do is make it really hard to cancel, which they do sometimes. You're like, this is ridiculous.
That's what
And what do
Hamill used to do with the Voyeur dorm. Just make it really difficult to cancel.
That's the plan. It's a brilliant plan, Hamill. He knew what he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he did.
Right? But I ain't streaming. No, I think it's Kansas. It could be the Kansas City Miami game. That's on Peacock.
Oh, that's a pretty good game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
normally
are
I
gonna,
would watch it for sure, but I ain't watching it.
Are you
I'm making
okay.
a stand.
What if I said to you, Mike, I've got free tickets for you to the Bucks game, Monday Night Football coming up?
Oh, the Bucks, the playoff game.
Yep, the playoff game. Would you go?
Only if I was helicoptered in.
Yeah.
That's a to do. That's a to do. Man, that is a to do.
Free tickets, Monday Night Football playoff game, and it's still not.
Oh, it's a to do.
It's still just for some reason it's not really. It's not moving me. It's not moving you either.
It's like what I found out is the thing to do is if you really want to experience some something like that is you go and you tailgate, and then you go home and you watch it on TV, and you get the best of both worlds.
Oh, you're that guy?
Oh yeah. It's like
you're using the goods and the services for free and then leaving before they send you the bill. Oh, you're that
guy. I
guy.
pay my $25 for parking.
Not if you. Oh, so you'd actually park. So you pay the parking
and you tailgate at the venue. And
all
you
right.
get all the atmosphere and all the festivities.
Suck up all the free fun and then leave.
And then you leave because going in there and fighting the traffic afterward and all the TV timeouts. Man, have you been to a live NFL or college game recently?
A lot of TV. Yeah.
And it's like, man, you're just sitting there and you're just like. It's an eternity because, at home you can get up and go get a beer or you can walk around, go outside, whatever. You're sitting there for 5-6 minutes and all the momentum is just sucked out of the whole stadium. And it's like.
Well, I find watching like wrestling interesting now because, and I don't know what other sports, I think they do this with, no, they don't with UFC, but definitely wrestling, where they'll do the screen in screen, right? So, the wrestling match, because you're not going to stop for TV breaks, but if, they got to play their Snickers commercials,
yeah.
right? So they'll just do the split screen, and they're not wasting any time at all. They're going, all right, we're going to still continue to show the wrestling action, but the TVs are right next to it. And it's a full commercial break. I mean, you're talking 5 minutes.
Oh, they still have a split screen.
Still a split screen the whole time. And then it comes back to the match, and then they'll do it again. I mean, if it's a really long match, they'll take a couple breaks, and they're not leaving money on the table at all over there.
So they probably give the Iggy to the wrestlers, like we're in a commercial break. Like nobody's going to get pinned during the commercial, right?
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So there's still action, there's still movement.
Yeah.
But maybe not going quite as hard. And nobody's calling for the finish. While they're still in a commercial break.
It's pretty smart.
It is pretty smart.
I wonder when soccer will move to that. Because if you watch like the World Cup, there's no commercials at all. It's just like, sponsored by Budweiser, and there'll be a crawler across the thing, like, this the stadium thing. It'll be constantly a Budweiser thing, and there'd be Budweisers on the score, tally. And they don't ever do commercials except at halftime. It's like they're gonna stop that soon.
Soccer's so boring, except for the finals of the World Cup or maybe some couple games late in the game.
It's hard to watch.
It's difficult, man.
That's why I only watch the World Cup, or like a couple tournaments, like maybe the Euro and then the World Cup. That's a couple tournaments every 4 years. That's enough for me. It's enough for me.
Well, this year you need to bet on it.
That's right, yeah.
Place put a
soccer,
juice it up.
I mean, I just don't even understand it. Like you can, like hockey and football, they're pretty violent sports. And guys, do you ever see in football and hockey someone writhing on the ground as if they're in agony? And it's like when you see that, it's somebody's blowing out their ACL.
Yeah.
They finally, it's like, oh, it's bad. He blew out. He's like writhing. And these soccer guys that writhe on the ground, it's like at least 20 times somebody's on the ground like they're gonna die, and it's like that's a real turnoff because it's the only sport where they do it, and then they get it right up in play, so it's like they got a boo boo. They got scraped by a cleat. Ooh,
that's the funny part when they try to sell it and nobody puts it over, and then like, It's almost like the coach looks at him and is like, all right.
So that's the reaction. It's like, come on, butch up a little.
Even the women don't do
They don't
that.
do. They don't.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because they don't want to be perceived as a bunch of whiny cunts. That's what it is. That's what it is.
I didn't
more,
say it.
It's more misogyny.
It is. Yeah, they would totally shame a woman if she.
All them dumb bitches was whining on the ground.
She didn't even get a hit.
Oh, come on. Yeah. But the guys, everybody tolerates it.
It's a free pass to just roll
Yeah,
around.
I mean, they're pathetic. They're pathetic. They almost every one of them do it too. It's like it's a conspiracy, an unwritten law.
What about on a level like of Ronaldo or Messi? I can't say that I've seen them, selling.
Ronaldo, I've seen him sell.
Does he sell a lot?
Yeah.
Or just as much as anybody
I think he
else?
sells just as much as anybody else.
Okay. I was gonna say, I wonder if you get on a certain level and it's like, I'm not gonna sell that anymore. Like
I think they sell it more because they know they'll get it because you're Ronaldo. And you're like, sell it and you're going to get the call because you're Ronaldo.
I mean, from a pride perspective, just a self.
I don't think
worth.
soccer players have pride. they threw out their pride the first game. They were on the ground with that little
Fake knee
nick,
pain.
their nick on their shin. Bikers and soccer players.
Are they sauced up?
You mean steroids? I
Yeah.
don't think.
Soccer players? What do you
No,
think?
that's a good question. I don't know how much it helps you.
I mean, they got
I mean, so they got some big guys on. Like some of the defenders are pretty big guys.
a ton of stamina, but I don't know if steroids is going to help you with the.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Stamina,
I don't think it
perhaps.
does. But I mean, I guess if you want to get, if you want to be a jack, there's some jacked guys out there. So you're thinking it's all natural. It's like they're on the roids too.
Man.
I don't think I don't think like any kind of stimulant isn't it like an enhancer. Like I took some ephedra back in the day on the old show, and then I had a soccer game later that evening, and I was like, thought I was gonna have a grabber, man. I was like, man, I can't do nothing. I'm exhausted, and I was like, oh, I was at that ephedra, and my heart's going.
The ephedra, I can understand why it was banned.
It was good. I don't think it only killed like 3 people.
Dude, yeah, but your heart, I mean, I was taking ephedra too. I mean, we're on the same page with that. Every morning we were just like ephedra, energy drink, whatever.
What was it? I mean, it was a big ass drink, and it didn't taste that great. And you had to you had to just slowly drink the whole thing.
There was those drinks that, they used to bring in, and it had like a shit ton of niacin in there. So it felt like your skin was crawling.
Turning
like
red.
Turning red, and
Yeah.
it felt like it had 1,000 spiders on you. And it took me a long time because when I first had that, the internet again, the information wasn't readily available to
true.
understand what
It's
was
true.
happening. I was like, "What's going on?" I'm flush red. I'm
dying.
I'm itching. Like, do I need to go to the emergency room or something? Until years later, I was like, "Oh, niacin. That's what does this."
I've taken like an overdose of niacin. I mean, that stuff makes you feel miserable.
You should on Cluster F. You should have Trace just have 2 drinks of niacin, those energy drinks with it jam packed, and just see what he's feeling.
Tracy probably keel over.
I don't need relish.
He's got bad genes. His mom slept with a meth head at the truck stop.
Oh,
It's not mine.
uh-oh.
Sound issues. Oh, for the love of Christ. Well,
Sound issues.
let's see. I'm on YouTube. Yeah, we may have to cancel out YouTube stuff.
Cancel the YouTube stuff or
No, I like a not simulcast because
too much action?
it might be because we were having problems last week, so I turned off the YouTube and everything was fine, and now we may be having problems. Watch on YouTube, chat on Twitch. Now they're saying, see, but that's how it worked last time. It only worked on YouTube for a bit, but then the YouTube started screwing up. It's a dirty game, Matt. It's a dirty game. Well, you know what?
Are we getting shadow banned?
That's how I feel. The government doesn't want this kind of stuff out there. They don't want us. We're teaching people how to think now.
That's no
We're
good.
We're revolutionary. We're a revolutionary podcast, and they're squashing us just like
Well, we'll play Mortal Kombat coming up at 9:00 sharp. You can
Well,
tune in for that.
We'll come back and I don't know if anybody's hearing us, but if you're hearing us on YouTube, we're going to come back with a VIP deal. So it doesn't matter. Our audio will be sensational for the VIP because we don't have to go through all this streaming bullshit. So I don't know if anybody's hearing me. If they're not, if you are hearing us, we'll be right back with the VIP deal. And thanks for tuning in.